Alright, let's dive deep into the swirling vortex of reactions surrounding Elden Ring Nightreign. This trailer has dropped a bombshell, and the internet is collectively trying to process what they just witnessed. It's a fascinating blend of excitement, confusion, and a hefty dose of, wait, what was that? Firstly, the sheer audacity of From Software is on full display. They've essentially taken the core of Elden Ring, compressed it into a more focused, co-op experience, and then thrown in elements from across their entire catalog like a mad scientist in a lab. The community's immediate reaction speaks volumes. It's both thrilling and utterly perplexing. It's like they're saying, here's Elden Ring, but also, here's everything else. Enjoy! The blatant disregard for conventional sequel structures or even DLC expectations is undeniably a From Software hallmark. The comment sections are a testament to this organized chaos. A significant chunk of the discourse is dominated by one figure, the Nameless King. His unexpected appearance has sent shockwaves through the community. It's not just a look-alike or a spiritual successor, it's him, resurrected from the depths of Dark Souls 3, seemingly dragged into this new reality by some unknown force. This isn't subtle fan service, it's a full-blown, we know you remember this guy, here he is again moment. There's a shared sense of PTSD laced with a perverse delight. People are both terrified and ecstatic to face him again. It's a masterclass in using legacy content to create instant hype. Beyond the Nameless King, the trailer is a treasure trove of callbacks and cameos. The reappearance of the Firekeeper from Dark Souls 3, the grotesque centipede demon from Dark Souls, the wall jumping and deflection mechanics lifted straight from Sekiro, and even the fleeting glimpses of what appear to be assets from Bloodborne, it's a dizzying experience. One comment even mentions the stake driver from Bloodborne, highlighting just how much is being pulled from the studio's previous titles. This isn't just a remix, it's a full-blown crossover event, leaving players speculating about a potential Eldenverse, a shared universe where the various worlds From Software has created are interconnected, which ties perfectly to the comment that states, Elden Ring across the Eldenverse. It's a bold, borderline insane idea, but it's exactly the kind of thing that gets the community buzzing with theories and anticipation. The roguelike element, as mentioned by one commenter, adds a layer of intrigue. The idea of a randomized limb grave, where enemy placement, item drops, and even the very structure of the level is constantly shifting, is an exciting concept. It promotes replayability and encourages players to adapt to constantly changing scenarios. It is something that will add a nice touch since From Software games are famous for hard boss fights, and the roguelike component only boosts the appeal of that. The possibility of constantly engaging with challenging bosses, while also exploring different gameplay approaches, could be the most memorable thing about this experience. However, not everyone is entirely convinced, with some feeling this is not being directed by Miyazaki, but instead pushed by investors. The concerns regarding the implementation of live service elements are also present, with fear that it could become a game with constant seasons updates to sell new content. There is a mix of anxiety about how much this game is going to drift into a more commercial side of gaming that was not present in previous titles. It's a legitimate fear given the trend in the industry. However, if executed well, this could be a refreshing take on their formula, but the community remains cautiously optimistic on how much monetization will be involved. The co-op focus is another point of discussion. While many are excited to team up with friends and tackle the challenges together, there's also a desire to have the option for a single-player experience. This might be something that is crucial to fully please all their fans, while also not being limiting to the multiplayer experience. The comments section reveals that this is more than just a game announcement, it's a shared experience. Players are piecing together the different elements of the trailer, sharing their observations and theories, while also reminiscing of past From Software titles and their experiences in those worlds. The mix of humor, awe, and bewilderment captures the collective feeling of the audience. It's like a group therapy session where everyone is trying to cope with the sheer volume of information that was thrown at them. The game seems to take some inspiration from Elden Ring's Convergence mod, which adds elements from previous From Software titles. This is further reinforced by people commenting that this is a dream world created by the Night Lord, as stated in the trailer. They theorize that the Night Lord trapped Limgrave in a nightmare containing ideas from all games from the Souls universe. These kinds of things just reinforce the sense that all of From Software's titles might be connected under a bigger umbrella. It also appears that the Mimic Tear from Elden Ring will have some impact on the story, as the Lord of Night is mentioned in the description of that item. There are also plenty of references to the music from the trailer. Many listeners are calling out its apparent similarity to the main theme from the Harry Potter movies, while also stating that the game's soundtrack has some similarities with the music from Bloodborne. It seems to be a common opinion that the music of Elden Ring Nightreign is borrowing heavily from the previous From Software titles. In conclusion, Elden Ring Nightreign is a fascinating paradox. It's a standalone title that feels like a greatest hits compilation, a co-op experience that sparks questions about single-player viability, and a seemingly random mishmash of elements that has the community simultaneously excited and deeply confused. This is not something that was expected, especially with the recent release of Shadow of the Erdtree, but that is also part of the reason why the community is so happy with this announcement. Whether it will be a glorious success or a noble experiment remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure: Elden Ring Nightreign has captured the internet's attention, and now the world waits to see what happens next.